Hi, everybody. I'm Jenny Jewell, a retired emergency dispatcher, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a classroom here because if one person has questions about something, chances are more than one person has a question about the something. So, what we're going to cover is just a few things, terms that I used that I thought were layman enough, but maybe they're not. So, I try to use layman terms, not lingo, when I'm doing my autopsies. But it's going to slip out, and if these slipped out and these are not common knowledge things, let's feed that hunger beast and give your brain some of that delicious, meaty goodness. So we're going to start out first with going mutual. So what it means to go mutual, a lot of people might already know this, so just kind of stay patient with me. Going mutual means that you get a call and just say that you handle police, but you don't handle medical. So you would need to reach out to the medical, like just say there's somebody that's been shot, right? So that's still a police call. But there's somebody with shots, in their body. So you'd want to go mutual with the medical agency if they're not you. So a lot of police departments are not medical agencies. So that dispatcher would reach out to the other agency and get them to also respond. And so you have to coordinate that response with them getting to the scene, coordinating with their dispatcher to make sure, all the information is relayed and that everybody's stages in a safe place before your police department clears the scene and lets that medical group in. So ambulance, fire, if there is a crime or like a homicide or an assault, police need to respond first. So I know it sounds crazy. Somebody's bleeding to death from a gunshot wound, but they have to wait until the scene is safe. We're not going to ever send medical and fire personnel into a scene if it's not safe. It's absolutely ludicrous. Don't ever do that. If you do that, you don't belong in the industry, period. So, but this is what going mutual is on the police side. But just say, we're gonna take these guys off the board for a second, but just say you work for the fire department, right? We'll pretend this medical attack vehicle, which is a MAV, which is an aid car. We'll pretend it's an aid car. And I'm doing a lot more explaining now than I, just because I can. You might hear them called MAVs, but it stands for medical attack vehicle, but that's what an aid car is. So like when you see Medic 1 or other medic units out there, they're MAVs. That's what the vehicle is called. So just say you're in your happy little MAV, which this is not, this is an ambulance, but just pretend it's a MAV. And you're going to like a really, really bad car accident on the freeway. Somebody's like, oh no, there's a car accident and we need help. So you go to the car accident and the police aren't there yet, but you need them to control traffic, right? So that's another time that you would actually reach out to a mutual agency. So that's all that means is reaching out to a mutual agency. Mutual just means somebody that helps you, right? So just say the ambulance shows up on the freeway and they need help with controlling the traffic. So they call and get that group, like the state patrol or whoever's in charge of that area, to help with controlling the scene. So hopefully this helps. But mutuals can happen with any agency. So I'm not going to, because again, I sign a lot of paperwork that's still binding and I can't get out of what I can and can't say. So just say you're working for an agency. This is hypothetical. And that agency is a federal government agency that's also considered mutual. So just say that dignitary from who's-he what's-it country is coming to town. If you work for the local county or the local police department, you're going to find out about it because they're going to have special assignments for that. And so they can be mutual on a special assignment for an event. They could be, mutual to all kinds of stuff. Like, we've gone mutual from here down to help with the California wildfires. So, Seattle Fire Department and other agencies up here have sent people to go help. And that's technically mutual also. So that would be marked out. So just say you have, we'll do fire trucks here. Just say you have some firefighters that work for your agency, and they go down to help with, a hurricane or a tornado or a wildfire. You are still going to have an assignment for them. They don't suddenly not become your responsibility. So they still have their assignment. So you may see their assignment in there as event or as a mutual. So yeah, it's neat. It's kind of neat to work with different agencies. But yeah, so that's what it means to go mutual or going mutual. So let's move on to the next one here. Get rid of her. Let these guys go 10-7. And 10-7 is out of service, by the way. And so I'm dropping a whole bunch of stuff today. All right, so no more going mutual. We're going to talk about building a call. And the way that you build a call, a really big important part of that is the golden three. So there's a question about what the golden three is. And the golden three is what you absolutely bare bones minimum have to have for a 911 call to get dispatched. You absolutely have to have these three things. The where is this happening, or where did it happen? What is happening or happened? Who is involved or who is talking to you? Who's your contact? Do you know the names of people who are involved in this? And getting as much of the who as you can, including, their information, their phone numbers, their names, things like that. And that's the golden three. Absolutely bare minimum. And if you don't have those, don't put it in the queue. You got to fight to get those. So if just say you get a where and a what, and then somebody hangs up on you, you're calling them back. You're going to get that. You're going to get at least, who called you. Or if you get the who called you and the what, and they hang up and you have their number, you got to get the where. Hopefully that makes more sense. So you can't have one without the other. So somebody shot in the park. Click. Okay. So we don't know who the somebody is. We don't know what park it is. We don't know anything. And we don't know, what they were shot with. We don't know what happened. We have no idea. So, yeah, you can have a what, somebody's bleeding in the street, but what street? Where are they? And then you get into the built call part of things. So we're going to get into building a call. So call is not technically built until you have additional details. So you're still going to have, to build a call, you need the where, the what, the who, at the barest minimum. If you don't have them, you got to call back and get that. Otherwise, there's nothing to work with. You have to have the golden three. But you also need the additional details to keep your responders safe. So additional details would be, are there weapons involved? Are there animals? Are there dogs? Are there is it a dangerous situation? Is anything on fire? Things like that. You need to know what the scene is and get the additional details. And things like, are they breathing? This is the time when you would start doing telephone CPR at that point. But when you get all the additional details, you're already in the middle of the tail end of the call. So if you have the where, the what, the who, you can put that in the queue, meaning, the list of things to be dispatched. And then you can fill in the rest as you go. So if you get the where, the what, and the who, the quicker you get that inside of the queue to get dispatched out, the better. But keep working on that call and get the rest of the additional details so that they could do pre-arrival stuff. Pre-arrival means information that your team needs before they get there. Like pre-arrival B, is CPR in progress? Is the person breathing? Are they not breathing? Do we have, a compliant person at the scene, or do we have somebody panicking? What's going on? So a call is not technically fully built until you have all the additional details in there. And luckily, there is a computer-aided dispatch system that call receivers do have that they can fill out as they go. And that reduces guesswork. So don't ever do guesswork. Everything is scientifically, specifically designed the wording is designed for compliance and to get help to them as quickly as possible. The flow of the computer-aided dispatch is set up a very specific way, scientifically and studied. So it helps you. So the quicker that you get into the computer-aided dispatch system and the additional details, the better, because it'll guide you through that. So you would tell it what type of call it is, and then it would guide you through the rest. So people aren't feeling their way in the dark in these. And when I hear somebody feeling their way in the dark on a call, I do wonder about their training. So, a call is fully built once you have the where, the what, the who, and the additional details. But you can finish building it while it's in the queue waiting for dispatch. And that happens all of the time, but just as quickly as possible. And if you're still on the call, like if it's an active call, if it's the in-progress call, active in progress means it's still currently going on. So if the person that's calling you is like from a store and they're behind a counter and there's gunfire going on and you need to stay on with that call, or you'd want to tell your dispatcher that too. It's an in-progress call. Something being in progress does raise its priority, but don't say something's in progress when it's not, because a false 911 call is actually a crime. So if you think you can say, oh yeah, it's in progress and you're going to show up quicker, if they show up and nothing happened and there was nothing in progress, you're in trouble. So don't play. Please don't play with the 911 system. It's taxing as it is. So that's building a call. And we're going to talk about just what it means to do this job just for a little bit. So it changes you. You are the same person when you start the job as when you leave, but you're a lot more educated on human behavior than you ever might have been before. And it freaks people out. So it's not really a job for everybody, but it does help you understand that we're all the same, that humans are humans, and it doesn't matter which your air that you breathe is, or your eye color, or your skin color, or, anything. Nothing matters. You are still flesh, blood, and bone, another human being. And humans are humans and will do human things, which is terrifying when you know what human things are. We play it being civilized, but it's a dangerous world out there. But with that, guys, speaking of, like I always say, please take care. Stay safe. Don't be naughty. And until next time, bye-bye.